Hey guys, how you doing today? Just got off work from the grocery store. Found a great deal on some pork. Oh wow, what a deal! I'm gonna $5 feeds me for a week. My dinner's anyway. I'll take it. I think the news. I mean, it's still. We're still talking about Doug Ford's fumble, right? Like Doug Ford dropping the ball. His Capitol Hill moment. The moment when everything went to heck for Doug Ford. And now it's explicit, right? This isn't just me chirping from atop my small, tiny YouTube channel. This is the Globe and Mail has now published articles. The Toronto Star, the Toronto Sun, for God's sakes, is publishing articles essentially denouncing Doug Ford's inaction. Because, as I have been saying on this channel the whole time, Doug Ford's actions are inadequate, but now it's that they have become incoherent. And I think that that's the bridge too far. As I've said in previous videos back, I think literally my last video, essentially what I was saying on that video became the talking point for the Globe and Mail and the Toronto Star. That what the Ford administration is saying is that people are to stay home with the exception of essential travel or essential purchases, and non-essential services are open. So you're not to leave your house unless it's for essential purposes, but non-essential services are open. And again, let me reiterate, the name of this channel is Toy Store John. That's because I work in a toy store. Toy stores, like toys, are non-essential. If I'm open, everything's open, right? If I'm open, everything's open. And we have experienced a reduction in hours because of the hour reduction that the Ford administration is putting on, or as we like to call it, a curfew, right? Which it doesn't work. Why? And it's obvious that it doesn't work because people still need to get on the TTC. They still need to get to work. They still get back on the TTC. They still go home, right? That spreading vector, which is obviously what's happening, right, is still not being addressed. That people are leaving their homes, getting on the TTC, going to work to serve a bunch of strangers in non-essential services, in non-essential places, for non-essential reasons, and then get back on the TTC and go home. Like, it doesn't take a genius to figure this out, and everybody knows what needs to happen, right? We all know that we need a proper lockdown. Like, even the people who will say to me, who will be like, well, not everybody, the people have many, but you know that the way to defeat this virus is to lock down. We know it's true. Why do we know it's true? Because we've done it before and it worked. Like, because other nations have completely eradicated the virus by doing exactly that, by locking down properly. And the Ford administration refuses to do it while spewing an incoherent message while the liberals watch. And that's the thing that the media is not talking about, and why I still peg the media. Like, they're attempting to seize the high ground now that it's become obvious, right? Now that it's obvious that Doug Ford isn't fit to govern, now that it's obvious that the Conservatives are not really capable of coming up with a coherent, strong message, or a coherent, clear plan. Now that most Ontarians are not taking this pandemic serious because of this waffling and inconsistency from the Ford administration, now that it's become incredibly clear, so that people like me are seizing the high ground, people like me, people like Bruce Arthur, like sports newscasters and toy store employees are seizing the high ground. Now the media comes out and goes, oh, wait a minute, Doug Ford, there seems to be some inconsistencies. No, you don't get to come out when it's obvious, right? Like, you've got people on your boat screaming that the boat is sinking, and you're going, I don't know. And then when the boat sinks, then you go, I think the boat is sinking. Like, too late. Too late. Thanks for joining the party, Globe and Mail. Thanks for joining the party, Toronto Sun. Thanks for joining the party, Toronto Star. We've been at this party for a long time. Thanks for joining. We appreciate it. So here's the next step for the media to get onto. Why are the Liberals doing nothing? Why are the Liberals doing nothing? Huh? Why is the media so silent about this? Why is the media saying nothing about this? Like, these conservatives are taking all the heat. In Alberta, Kenny is just getting demolished. He's going to lose the next election. Just take a look at the polls right now. If the election was held right now in Alberta, he would be demolished, and it wouldn't be close, right? And if these numbers stay strong for the NDP, and I don't see why they shouldn't stay strong, Kenny's going to get absolutely trounced in the next election. So he's taking the heat for the inaction of the Liberals. Take a look at how much heat Doug Ford is taking, but no one is putting at the feet of the Liberals. Hey, remember when the Liberals passed the CERB? Hey, remember when the Liberals passed like comprehensive support packages? Hey, remember when the Liberals outright said, everybody just get on the CERB, let's do a proper lockdown? Yeah, notice how they haven't done that again? Notice how they're doing this regional approach? Notice how they're not doing anything while allowing the provinces to take care of it? What kind of strategy does that sound like? Has there been a popular leader of a country who has ceded responsibility for taking care of this virus while giving all expectations to each individual state? Does this sound like something Donald Trump did? Sounds like something Donald Trump did to me, right? Don't actually do anything. Have each individual province take care of it themselves. Each individual state take care of it themselves. This is the Donald Trump strategy. We're watching it happen. And no one in the media is actually talking about it because they're covering for the Liberals, right? They don't want to actually throw a stone at the Liberals, who should have stones thrown at them constantly. No, they're covering. They're committing the great lie, which is the lie of omission, right? That you can spread this narrative and you can play this game and say anything you want and do anything you want, so long as you omit the truth, so long as you omit what's going on. And we're entering like this very, very strange time for media, right? It's like the Wild West online. So I recently got banned off a subreddit. OnGuardForThee is what I got banned from. A minor 2-day ban, not a big deal, and I'm actually not that upset about it. It's completely fine, because the moderators there, they're not taking a political stance. They're just literally like, we don't want people putting their, low-level YouTube stuff, right? Their selfie stuff on our subreddit. Just for the record, OnGuardForThee is the second largest Canadian-related subreddit on Reddit. The first one being Arc Canada. I've never been banned from Arc Canada, although I'm sure it's coming. And I don't actually buy this stated reason, because, like, if the Prime Minister was, if even a journalist, right? Even a journalist, like if there was some journalist who was working for the Toronto Sun, was doing what I'm doing right now, and was releasing daily videos and put it on OnGuardForThee, or somebody put it on OnGuardForThee, he wouldn't be banned, right? Because he works for corporate power. And so ultimately this statement of like, oh, we don't want their people's personal stuff is a secession to corporate power. That's what it is. And it is done so that the populace doesn't get to decide what is or is not good media content. And this is going to become more and more the fashionable position, right? That online sources, moderators and things like this, and literally moderators are just like people who started the subreddit. They're not like, and very well they could be co-opted and they could be paid. That happened to Arc Canada, and we shouldn't pretend like it didn't. That Arc Canada got taken over by, we know that one of them is at least a fascist, right? He's spoken out, and we've seen it, we have the footage, or the screenshots, and and it's very believable to believe that a billionaire funds moderators for the most popular Canadian-related subreddit, or any subreddit, right? This place, like hundreds of thousands of people are subscribed to these places. Of course, there's manipulation by wealthy oligarchs. Like, of course, they're involving themselves. And so someone like me, it's very easy to say to me, like, oh, we don't want just some guy who's talking on YouTube because we don't want our channel full of that kind of stuff. But of course, who are the guys who are just talking on YouTube? Probably socialists and communists, right? People who have been excluded from the discourse, right? Like, no one will ever talk the way I talk in the Globe and Mail. Like, nobody is going to talk the way I talk in the National Post, right? Where are we going to do it? Well, we're going to talk the way that we talk in, like, the few socialist magazines and the few socialist outlets that we have. And we're going to do it on YouTube, and we're going to do it ourselves, right? We don't have institutional power. We only have our passion and our desire to do it. And we're going to get excluded because we're not part of the institutional system. And it's such a massive gift to media sources that currently exist. Corporate media relies on this idea that populists or populist people who are popular, will be silenced. And they use the term populist as a derogatory term in order to silence people like me, right? I'm for sure going to be called a populist, right? Like, I'm not part of any institution. I'm not part of any kind of thing. And they're just going to label me a populist, ban me because I'm just a guy on YouTube, right? And ignore what I have to say. And ignore ignore the point until it becomes so obvious that what I'm saying is absolutely correct and absolutely true, that they'll adopt it themselves. The stuff they like, anyway. Right? The stuff that they can pitch. Right? That's why the Globe and Mail will happily now that it's become obvious that Doug Ford is incoherent and Doug Ford doesn't actually have a plan for dealing with this COVID crisis, they'll point that out. They won't go so far to say that Doug Ford doesn't actually care about workers, and that Doug Ford doesn't regard workers as people. They're his servants who work on behalf of him. He doesn't care about our well-being. If we die, we'll be replaced by somebody else. He's aware of that. And as long as he gets his Timmies, he's happy, right? They'll never say that, even though it's completely accurate and completely true. And they'll never, ever, ever point out that the Liberals are completely inactive and doing absolutely nothing during this period of time. Right? They'll never stand up and actually point out what is fundamentally and obviously true. That the Liberals could step in. The Liberals could say, hey man, you got to shut these places down. Like, you're going to have 10K cases. Like, you've got to do it. We're going to make you do it. Right? They could easily do that. They're the federal government. They can do that. They choose not to. And they choose not to because, again, they're completely fine if workers die. They don't care. They live in their cloistered palaces. They live up on the hill, right, surrounded by guards and walls, right? They can sequester themselves. They don't need to worry about that. They send their servants out to get goods for them on their behalf because they're millionaires. Because they're millionaires and billionaires. They can hire personal assistants. What do you think Instacart is? Like, what do you think Shopify is? Like, what do you think all this gig economy stuff actually is, right? We're all rushing around delivering stuff to wealthy people, spreading the virus amongst ourselves, and then we go drop it off on their doorstep. They come out with a spray and they go, shh, right? To spray the dirty away. Anyway, once again, our media letting us down, even as they play catch up with people who work in toy stores and sports newscasters. Anyway, guys, this is the end of me. Like, share, subscribe. I'm 2 subscribers away from 100. I'm 2 subscribers away from 100. That's a big milestone for me. It's a big milestone for this channel. If you have made it to this point and you are not yet subscribed, subscribe. You could be the person that tips me over. And hey, throw some money my way if you do. Go out, have a drink, have a smoke. Laugh. God damn it, laugh. Have a laugh. Spread the joy. Smoke a doob. Have a drink. High five coyote. Taste the rainbow, reach for the stars, do noun the verb. Good luck. We're gonna need it.